Here's the fast timeline on the 2026 US-Iran war and what it would actually take to end it. February 28, 2026. US and Israel launch surprise airstrikes across Iran, hitting military targets, hitting government targets, assassinating senior officials, Ayatollah Khamenei. Iran fires back missiles, drones at Israel, at US bases, at US-aligned countries, and closes the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical energy choke points. Global shipping shutters. Washington lays out shifting justifications. Stop an imminent threat, cripple missiles, block a nuclear weapon regime, change talk, oil leverage. April 8th, a Pakistan-mediated 2-week ceasefire begins. U.S. proposal: end Iran's nuclear program, cap missiles, reopen Hormuz, limit support for armed groups, trade that for sanctions relief. Tehran counters: stop U.S.-Israeli attacks, provide security guarantees, pay war reparations, recognize sovereignty over Hormuz. April 11-12, Islamabad, highest-level U.S.-Iran talks since 1979. Vice President J.D. Vance sits across from Iran's parliament speaker. No deal. The U.S. calls it bad news for Iran. Trump orders a naval blockade of Hormuz, turning back dozens of ships. By late April, traffic in the strait drops over 90%. The Royal Navy warns of strangulation of trade and a looming humanitarian crunch. Ceasefire gets extended. Trump tells Congress hostilities have terminated since April 7th, even as negotiations stall. Core deadlocks don't budge. Who controls Hormuz? What happens to Iran's nuclear program? Secretary of State Rubio says the nuclear issue remains the core sticking point. Meanwhile, Iran courts Moscow. Putin signals support. Late April into May. Iran floats a new offer. Reopen the strait, now push nuclear talks to a later stage. The White House hates that, because ending the blockade would erase U.S. leverage on enrichment and stockpiles. Trump signals he's not satisfied. Blast them or make a deal. So how does this end? First, immediate de-escalation for relief. Reopen Hormuz under neutral monitoring. Think a UN or Pakistan-led maritime corridor with humanitarian fuel and food lanes prioritized. Second, a synchronized trade. Partial sanctions relief tied to verifiable steps, pause on high-level enrichment, intrusive inspections, a freeze on missile testing with snapback penalties. Third, reciprocal security guarantees. Halt cross-border strikes and proxy escalations with a hotline and incident protocols. Fourth, face-saving sovereignty language on Hormuz. Transit rights protected by international law, administered with Iranian participation, but under multilateral oversight.